Continuing with the construction of the main battery, in this video I will be installing the plates that go on the roof and the front of the turret, as well as the plates that go at the base and end of the rangefinders. When working with this photo etch, I need to be very careful. It is incredibly thin, it's like paper. I need to be very careful with how I cut these parts off of their fret. I won't be able to sand off excess metal, so I need to cut precisely on the edge. And if I go a little bit too far, I will easily cut into the part and damage it. After removing the component from the fret, you can see it curls up. Once again, annealing is not an option here. This is far too thin. If I apply heat sufficient to anneal this metal, it will literally burn up the metal and this part will disappear in a cloud of smoke. So I can't do that. I will have to just accommodate it and hold it in place while I install it. To install the panel on the roof of the turret, before applying any glue, I carefully position it, and once I have it in what I think is the correct position, I apply extra thin superglue to the edge using the superglue applicator. Capillary action draws the superglue underneath the photo etch, bonding that corner in place. Working out from that corner, I move to the opposite corner at the back of the turret, hold it in place, and then apply more extra thin superglue to bond the full length of the back of the panel to the back of the turret. With the back of the panel now firmly bonded in place, I pull the front of the panel into place to check its alignment with the front of the turret. Fortunately, it is in good alignment, so I hold it in place and glue a corner down using more extra thin superglue that I apply to the edge of the panel. The last corner is then stretched into position and held down, and yet more extra thin superglue is applied. With all four corners now glued in place, the lengths between the corners can now be glued down. Once again, extra thin superglue is applied to the gap, and capillary action draws the glue underneath the panel, firmly bonding it to the roof of the turret. For the lengths on the sides of the turret, there are these little rails that need to be folded up first before I can access the side of the panel with superglue. Very carefully bend up these panels using tweezers, and once they're out of the way, the extra thin superglue is applied to the area. After fully bonding the roof panel onto the roof of the turret, there is a little bit of superglue around the edge on the side of the turret. This needs to be removed. If I do not remove this superglue, it will be visible under paint. To remove the superglue, I'm using the 600 grit sandpaper on my 5mm rotary sanding tool and 600 grit sanding cloth. I did test superglue debonder on this plastic, and unfortunately it does eat into this plastic, which means it is not safe to use it to remove the superglue. I have to remove it by sanding. After completing the process on the first turret, it is then repeated in the exact same way for the second and third turrets. Of these turrets, the only turret that is different is the A turret, which is the third turret that I've constructed. This is the forwardmost turret on the ship. Because it doesn't have an emplacement on it for anti-aircraft guns, it has also got this railing that goes around the back of the turret. This doesn't change the installation process for this panel really, although it does very slightly complicate it because there is this additional panel that needs to be folded up, and because it is curved, it needs to be curved and glued in place as well. To glue it in place, after curving it with tweezers, I hold it in place with my finger and apply extra thin superglue to the edge of the photo etch. After all of the roof panels are installed, I move on to installing the panel that goes at the front of the turret with the openings for the guns. Unfortunately, I encountered some technical difficulties here. For some reason, OBS froze on my side-mounted camera, so all that footage was lost. The camera was working, and I did remember to click record, so it wasn't, an operator failure for a change. But unfortunately, for some reason, all that OBS recorded was a single frame of my work mat before I started doing anything, which is not very helpful. Fortunately though, the top camera did record, but that's not really the best camera for this type of work. I do tend to lean over the kit, so I block the view a lot of the time. That means I can't show you everything that I did. However, the process is very similar to the panels that go on the roof. I position them in place without any glue. Once I'm happy with the panel's position, I apply extra thin superglue to the side of the panel using the superglue applicator and let capillary action draw it underneath the panel. For these panels, I do have the advantage of openings in the center, which means it is easier for me to get glue into the middle of the component. So I take advantage of those openings for the guns and apply glue to the inside perimeter there as well. As when I applied superglue to bond the top panel to the roof of the turret, some superglue gets onto the side of the panel here as well. Once again, I remove that superglue using the rotary sanding tool. That's particularly important for the side where there is plastic and the superglue debonder will damage the plastic. But I also use a sanding tool on the photo etch because it actually just works so well. I might as well use it, and this is a perfectly flat surface without any detail. It was at this point that I discovered that the side camera wasn't working, so I was able to get that going again and once again record footage for the installation of these panels that go at the base of the rangefinders. To install these panels, and I'm sure you're getting used to the procedure now, place them on the model and position them without any glue. Once I'm happy with the position of the model, I clamp them in place. This time I'm using the toothpick on the end of the hand stabilizer technique again to clamp it in place lightly. I do this because when you apply superglue to a small component, the superglue will cause the component to move. The toothpick very lightly clamping the photo etch in place prevents that from happening, and I'm able to safely apply extra thin superglue using a 0.5mm wire to the edge of the photo etch. Here I'm applying the superglue to the inside of this component where the plastic rangefinder will be inserted. This is so that it eliminates the need for me to clean up excess superglue around the perimeter of this photo etch, because any superglue excess that does arrive in this area will be covered by the plastic component that is going to be placed on top of it. Capillary action does do a good job in drawing the superglue to the edges of this component, so there's no need for me to apply more superglue to the exterior perimeter of these panels. This process is then repeated for the other side of the turret, and then the entire process is repeated for the last two turrets. I'm still quite liking this use of the hand stabilizer, which I know is not the real use of a hand stabilizer, and maybe there's a better tool for doing light clamping work like this. But I've found this to be very, very useful. It really does free up a lot of hands using the vise that you can see at the bottom of the screen, and then this additional tool to just gently hold the photo etch in place. In the past, when I was doing this type of work, I'd always feel as though I needed an extra hand, and now I'm able to do this with a hand free. It is definitely an improvement in the working process. With the photo etch in place, I can now install the plastic rangefinder, fill the small square opening with extra thin plastic cement, and then place the rangefinder into the hole. Since there is direct plastic to plastic contact between the rangefinder and the turret, I don't have to worry about the glue not bonding to the photo etch. While installing the rangefinders, I noticed that there's a small molding defect on the top of them. It's this little dimple. It's as if the plastic didn't properly flow in to fill the mold. So I need to fill that with plastic putty. I probably should have done this before I installed them on the model, but I didn't notice them until now. So I'm just going to quickly fill it with putty, and then once the putty has dried, sand the surface smooth using the 5mm sanding tool. With that out of the way, I can install the last of the panels that go on the edge of the rangefinders. To install these panels, I use the same technique as before. I clamp the turrets in the pin vise, then place the panel on the side of the rangefinder without any glue. Once I'm happy with the position of the plate, I lightly clamp it in place using the toothpick on the end of the hand stabilizer, and then apply extra thin superglue to the edge of the photo etch. Capillary action draws the superglue underneath the plate, firmly bonding it to the side of the rangefinder. The same process is repeated for all of the plates on all of the rangefinders. Before I move on to the next phase of the construction, I want to check that all the plastic and photo etch that has been installed so far has been installed properly and that there aren't any defects that are going to show up under paint. So I'm going to prime these components and then apply a surfacer. Since there is a lot of photo etch on these components and they do have quite large spans, the first thing I'm going to spray is metal primer. This is going to help subsequent layers of primer and paint stick to the metal. After the metal primer has dried, I then apply Mr. Surfacer 1000 to help reveal any defects on the component. The layer of surfacer did reveal a few defects that only required some light sanding to remove, and I'm now happy with the state of these turrets. Since I am now happy with the surface, I can install the last piece of plastic. I had intentionally not installed the base because it would get in the way of any corrections that need to be made. But now that I'm happy with the sides of these turrets, I can safely install this base plate. To install it, I hold it in place and position it. Once I'm happy with the position of the plate, I bond it in place using extra thin plastic cement. In the next video, I will continue with the construction of the turrets, focusing on the installation of ladders and also looking at some anti-aircraft tubs. If you don't want to wait for the scheduled release of videos and want to watch them when they are uploaded, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below. If you would like to support the channel, I can subscribe, and as always, questions are welcome in the comments. Thank you for watching. Cheers.